study we went here at age 22, according to this page, beginning of page. And we went about for this time is the teachings on the according point of view of the Dzogchen teaching, all the schools and all the teachings are mentally related, practicing on the mind to mind. So it's mind. It's called subduing the mind by the mind. That means ego clinging is mind. The egoless, for example, egolessness thought is also mind. So the mind will help to bring the ego thought. Both are thought, but one thought is more important than other thought. So mind to the mind. In the Mahayana Tantra teaching mentioned that is subdued by the mind by the mind, subduing. So all the Adhyana's teaching are mind to help it by the mind to the mind. All the Adhyana's teaching that started from the foundation teachings of the Buddhism and all the way, and that also included here as the non-Buddhist schools too. All is connected with the mind, mindly and trying to find the truth exactly as should try and do, and then use all the different interpretations, the different techniques, which is of course really helping, very supportive, but it's just still according point of view the Vajrayana teaching, particularly Dzogchen teaching, it is a little delaying our total achievement and realization. It is in a way to be a kind of making some detours in the teaching. So it is detours. And as we went yesterday, all one after another at a really kind of essential point of the view. And then yesterday we were in the mind-only schools. Mind-only schools are generally Mahayana teaching. Mahayana, Sutta Mahayana teaching is known as, according to Mahayana level, it is called Bodhisattva Yanas. And the Bodhisattvas, you all know, Bodhisattva is the practitioners of the Mahayanas, particularly who have the Bodhichitta thought, love and kindness and compassion thought for all living beings, and activated that with the ceremony and called the vows, take the vows with the Bodhichitta vows, and then very determined to really fulfill that vow by the practicing of the two accumulations of the six paramata practices, and that is the Bodhisattva Yanas. So courageous for the enlightenment. That has then, as this sutra has two groups, in the two groups, those are known as mind-only schools and the Madhyamaka schools. So we went yesterday a little bit about mind-only schools. Mind-only school, say philosophy is everything is come from created by the mind, our own mind. So that means all the experience, usages, everything is really the mind. But there is two, even though it's the mind created by the mind, but it is two. There is, for example, three habit patterns that we went yesterday. Habit pattern of the universe, habit patterns of the consciousness, and habit patterns of one's own physical conditions. Those are three habit patterns. We went that. And what are the habit patterns of the universe? Habit pattern universe in the teaching mentioned is all this, the world, universal world, including five objects of them. Five objects of the senses. What are those? Those are the form, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Those are the five objects of the senses. And then what is the form? And the second habit pattern is developed by I think maybe I translated as subject. The subject. And what is it that? Those are the at consciousness. At consciousness. All that. And together with then karmas. Good karma and bad karmas. Those are known as the habit patterns of the subject, as I translated. Ne, dong. And then next one is the habit pattern of the forms. That in each individually forms. Our forms, whatever the forms we have. Human beings has the human being forms. Animal has the animal forms. All these different forms, whatever they have, forms. And that is the habit pattern of the form, together with their kind of limbs and sub-limbs, and all those are named as like habit pattern of the forms or the bodies. Those are. So that is developed. However, this also even though it's developed, when is it developed? From the beginnerless times. There is no really time, even no time measures. It's just so long time ago developed, because it become really, because of that, it becomes solid. And the way that happened now is, even though it is our mind, but it become the kind of like subject, our subject and object, it become very distant. Object is become as object, and another thing. Subject is a subject, and another is entities, and they both become kind of like distinct, different. Therefore, even though is mind mentally developed, but these objects are not as like our really mind this moment. It is the mind developed by the mind, but it's become as a like separate entity in a way, because due to the habit patterns. What is the mind is our perceiving the thought, whatever we think. It has two things. When we look to the object, it has the appearance of the object part and the appearance of the subject part. The appearance of the subject part is mind. And the appearance of the object part is not mind, because it's more connected with the habit pattern and that extends. So it's not exactly mind. And I had there's also some other Sangha members mentioned that how come everything is the mind. For example, something is burning, house is taking in the fire. How we can say that is your mind? Mind. Is it true that what we see, that image is our mind? What perceiving is mind. But that burning house is object, is not as house. Even though according mind only, so it's developed, and it's developed that so big long time, but it's so distant because the habit pattern is, so it's not that that object is immediately mind. And that, for example, when we die, it's only dissolving our aspect of the perception of the subject aspect of the perceiving things, not we don't carry things and not dissolve with all the object is gone. Still object is here, outside, exactly as it was, or at least on our perceiving status. So those are distinct named in the mind only school, and the way they explained is like three things. Again, three things by operating three things. I think many of you maybe you read those books, and that is called nomination, and is in Vedic Kumta Yeving Yungrab. That is very famous kind of like system where brings everything in the mind only circle. Kumta is I'm translating as nominations, and the Yeving is the power of the others. First I translate that, and the Yungrab is the ultimately existing. So those are three things. And what is nomination means? We nominated by the duality when things are arising. What things are reflecting to the eight consciousness or the mental stages as arising, we nominated different names and labels and identities and all that is called nominations. It's all, everything is a nomination. Nomination is not something solid existing, it's really truly, but we made up that. Our mind made up. And each different country has different names, different systems, and all that, but it's not something comes with that object. Yet it is nominated, that is nominations. Nomination, and that is just a roughly idea. I'm just talking roughly. You can explore more. And then the other powers. What that means, other powers. That nomination is where it is reflecting to the at consciousness. That nomination, all that object, all those nominations, whatever that, whether it is the form, sound, smell, taste, touch, whatever, and conceptual thought, all is a reflection to the at consciousness. So at consciousness is, and what in the teaching said, other powers, power by the other phenomena. Phenomena we nominate things that. So is the other power, that is. Then ultimately what? Ultimately is the awareness, the mind which is free from two dualities. That is the ultimate state. Those are very famous philosophies of the mind-only school. Mind-only school is, in many masters say, really is so profound philosophy and profound practices is very deep. And because it is taught by, also is really, of course, taught by the Buddha originally, but then re-strengthened by the or re-glorified and activated by the many great masters such as Vasubendus, Dharmakirti, Ajay Dangnas. I mean, all those famous, and also Asahingas too. Many masters say that too. But anyway, it's really very famous schools. And it is the Mahayana and the Bodhisattva, developing Bodhichitta and practicing six paramata, accumulated to merit and purifying completely obscurations, removing obscurations and reaching enlightenment and achieving the four kayas and the three kayas as the same as other schools. So that is what is the only difference here. In their schools, according to the teaching, what in the book wrote, and the masters always say that the difference is because they ultimately accepted there is existing the subtle consciousness. That is the base of everything. For that reason, mind-only school. So, and the mind which is free from the duality. That is the only thing. And next stage is, so here, so that's it. Next stage is the Madhyamaka. Madhyamaka apprehended all